Okay, we're going to look at lesson 20 through 25 review. The idea here is not that I'm teaching this to you. You should have gone through the previous 5 lessons and have some understanding of this. What I'm going to be doing now is just going through it after you've tried it. So you should try all this first, and then I'm going to run through what answers you should have gotten and give a brief explanation of how you get there. Okay, so for this one, it tells us that the square is going to undergo rigid motion. So for the next 3 questions, we assume that we're starting at this square and it undergoes rigid motion. For the first question, it's basically saying which one of these is going to be a rigid motion. The only one right here is x minus 3. Remember, multiplying will always stretch or shrink, and then turning y into 3 will obviously change the shape. This is the only one that will move it without changing the shape or the size, which is what rigid motion is. Next, 0, 3 goes to 0, 0. So what happens here? X is unchanged and y goes down by 3. So let's take this one, make x unchanged, and have y go down by 3, and you'll be at 3, negative 3. Okay, now what we're going to do, x is going to go up by 3 and y is going to go down by 3. So let's take the easiest corner. So this whole thing is going to move, x goes up by 3, y goes down by 3. Let's take the easiest corner, which is 0, 0. If x goes up by 3, it's at 3. Y goes down by 3, it's at negative 3. So the new vertice will be 3, negative 3. Is that one of our options here? Yeah, right here. This is the only one with 3, negative 3. So then this one has to be our right answer. You could try the other 3 if you want, but you'll end up just seeing that all 3 of them, it's the other 3 vertices. So you found the one that works. We know that that's our answer. Actually, I'm sorry. None of the above is an option. So you should test all of these. So if you do, this one's at 3, 0. So it's going to go up to 6 and down to, so it's going to be 6, negative 3. And there we are. If you do the rest of them, you'll find that all 4 of the vertices or corners are there. Now for this one, we start here. This is with it's facing down with a tip at 2, 0. And then it's going to undergo a translation of negative 3, 1. So it's going to move over 1, 2, 3 and go down 1. So the first question, where is the tip? So the tip goes over 3, down 1. So it's going to be at, goes over 3 and up 1. So over 1, 2, 3, up 1. So it should be at negative 1, 1, which is what we get right there. And then which direction will it point? It's still going to point down because all you're doing is moving it. You're not flipping it or anything else. Okay, so now what we have is the square is reflected across the x-axis. So which one of these is a reflection across the x-axis? In order to reflect across the x-axis, you leave x how it is, and you make all of your y's negative. That'll take them and flip them down here. And then if there was an arrow pointing down inside the square, that's a typo. It should say down. So I'll make sure to fix that. But an up pointing arrow, I'm sorry. It's a typo, but I was wrong. It's not supposed to say down. It's supposed to say drawn. So I'll fix that so it's not as confusing. So that should be saying drawn. So an up pointing arrow is drawn inside the square after the reflection. Which way will it point? Well, we're flipping. We're right here, and we're flipping it to here. So it's originally pointing up. It would then be pointing down. Okay, another typo. This should be telling us which questions. This is going to be 8 through, it looks like, I think just 8 through 9. So I'll fix that one as well. So questions 8 through 9. A down arrow is drawn with its tip at 2, 0, and then it undergoes a clockwise rotation of 90. So it doesn't tell us what the center is, but it's going to go clockwise, which would be going the direction of a clock, which would be like this. This is the way it's going, 90 degrees, so like if the center is right here, it would go up to here. If the center is right here, this part goes over to there. So if the tip moves to 0, 2, what is the center? So 0, 2 would be right here. So if rotating 90 degrees like this moves this tip from here to here, so you see if you go up 2 right here, this must be the center because it's right here, it goes 90 degrees to right there. So the center must be 2, 2. You see that where if this is the center and it rotates 90 degrees, it'll just point that way, right? If the center was right here, then the tip would be all the way over here. Or if the center was right here, then it's going to rotate. The base is right here. The tip is all the way out here. So the center is right here, and it just turns so the tip is right there. how many possible centers of rotation will produce an image of a left-pointing arrow? So if you have the center right here, it'll point left. Right here, it'll point left. Right here, it points left. Right here, it points left. Right here, it points left. Up here, it points left. Right, any of these points along here, it rotates and points left. So there's an infinite number that would work. Okay, so now we're going to write these translations. First, we do a translation of 0, -3. So remember, do we put what's first on the left or put it inside the parenthesis? The answer is on the right inside the parenthesis. So first we do 0, -3, followed by a reflection over y equals x. Here we go right here. Okay, first we do a reflection over y equals 1. Here we go right here. And then followed by a rotation of -90 degrees about the origin. So this is it right here. 12 through 13. An arrow is placed with its base at 1, 1 and its tip at 1, 5. Identify the the positions of the base and the tip of the images of these compositions. So with this, it's probably best to start off by drawing it. So you would start off by drawing an arrow with the tip at 1, 1. The base at 1, 1 and the tip at 1, 5. So if you draw it, it'll be just to the right of the y-axis and it's pointing up. So if first you rotate around the point 1, 0 and you rotate 90 degrees, that'll get it. The arrow is then pointing to the right. And then you reflect over the x-axis. With that, what's going to happen, reflecting over the x-axis, reflecting over x equals 0, which is the y-axis. So you reflect over the y-axis, and now it's going to be on the left side. So let me double check this. We're at 1, 1, and the tip is at 1, 5. You rotate 90 degrees. Oh, okay. I was messing up. Here's what should happen. It starts at 1, 1. 90 degrees is counterclockwise. Positive is counterclockwise. So here's what's going to happen when you do this. So if you're following along, draw this to begin with. Draw this on a piece of paper. What should happen when you rotate it around 1, 0, 90 degrees, what you should have is you should have an arrow with the base at 0, 0, and then it goes to the left. That's what you should have. So the tip, so it's the base is at 0, 0, and the tip is at -4, 0. That's what you have just doing this. But then when you flip it over x equals 0, when you flip it over the y-axis, now the base stays at 4, 0, but the tip is positive. So this should be your answer. So once again, you need to draw this if you really want to understand it and see it, you'll need to draw it. So let's draw the same thing. Draw this right now. And now what's going to happen, we rotate 90 degrees around the point 1, 3. So 1, 3 is right in the middle of the arrow. So if you rotate 90 degrees, your arrow still has the middle of it is going to be at 1, 3, but now it's pointing to the left because you rotate counterclockwise. Now you're going to rotate around 3, 3, -90. So 3, 3 is now going to be the base of your arrow, and you rotate -90 to make your arrow point down. So your base is going to be at 3, 3, and your tip is going to be. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Let me do it. I'm drawing it as I do this. Your base is 1, 1. Your tip is at 1, 5. Okay. And you rotate 90 degrees around 1, 3, which is counterclockwise, so it points to the left. And then you'll rotate -90 around 3, 3. Okay, so now you rotate clockwise, so it's going to be pointing up. So I was wrong when I said it points down. So the new base should be at 3, 3, and the new tip should be at 3, 7. So that's what we'd end up getting. Number 14, an up-pointing arrow is defined by the points A, B, C, and D. Identify the direction of the arrow after each composition. So if we reflect over AC, which is right here, that'll just spin. It doesn't do anything. And then you reflect over BD, that'll flip it so it points down. And then right here, rotate negative 90 around A. So take A and rotate negative 90. Remember, negative is spinning this way counterclockwise. So this rotates around A, so it's right here. So this base is right here, so it points left. And then we flip it over BD. So it's pointing left. BD is now right here. So flipping over BD changes it so it points right. So you should get right for this. Okay, we rotate 180 around A. So here's A, rotate 180 around A. Your base is up here, so it's facing down. Then we rotate around D 90. So we're facing down. D is going to be a point right here. And if you rotate 90, 90, it's pointing down. 90 would rotate it to here, so it points right. So this should point right. Okay, so that's what we should get for this. Once again, you'll need to draw these. And if you need more help or you need me to go over something in more detail, then please just email me and I can help you today. All right, have a good day.